Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Walkman show. Today is yet again another entertaining episode of my Walkman show. Today, we're just going to keep talking about
our future plans for the channel and our future ideas that we're trying to brainstorm. Before we dive too further, it's Cozy here.
And this is Marcus.
And so what are some ideas that we have on board? So just run through some of them and I'll go through some of the ones that you may have missed. So before we dive too deep, this is still another casual episode. It's more like a feedback episode. And I think in the previous version of our first casual episode, we were like, we were just talking deep on what the My Walkman show is all about, what we try to do here, what we're trying to achieve, and how far we've come, and how far we hope to go. And so today also it's another casual idea brainstorming section, and what we are thinking about today is this: what is this next step for my Walkman? What is the next style of content that we're planning to put out, and what is the next way to move forward? And some of the ideas that are coming across our minds right now is we need the audience, we need the people to make this thing a reality. And moving forward, we'll be doing more of interviews, hopefully street interviews, business interviews, and individual interviews. We're bringing some of our friends to talk about their own perspective, their own ideas, their own business ideas, and stuff like that. So that's just something. And like what we do every time, mostly we're still going to try and do this brainstorming for like still 30 minutes, because we are cultivating the habit of trying to be disciplined in this thing, and we're trying to be like, no matter what, we hit this timeline, this target, and we actually put this stuff out there. So we have ideas. If there are ways, you don't have to do the interviews in person. So if you can reach out to us on phone, on call, over the internet, and it's something you're interested in, that you want to like talk about your journey, how you made it in Nigeria, it feels like you're bending your neck so much. So it's something that we want to talk about in Nigeria, and this is what we're just trying to do. Truthfully, we're just trying to like really find a way to end the suffering and the lack of employment for the youths by trying for ourselves and seeing what we ourselves can do for one another as patriotic youths of this wonderful nation. And we're just putting ourselves out here for you guys to say, oh, these two guys, what are they even doing? Like, if you have a better way, if you have a better idea, if you have ideas you want to give to us, we're always open to all of them.
All right, so like I was saying, now we're going to start bringing people, experts in different fields, to start talking to us. We're going to also start doing street interviews to hear what you guys, like people, the general public, have to say about businesses in Nigeria, or they have to say about startups in Nigeria. So these are most of the things we're going to be looking at in the coming days and coming weeks and months. So we'll be working on those projects while we still give you guys content, and from your feedback, we'll start to redeliberate on some of those things we've talked about in the previous episodes. And then with building ourselves, we're building a community of youths that are working together to achieve greatness as individuals, as a nation. We are looking at ICT as a next level in the economy. We're looking at these things. These are things we are going to be advising people with time, that you need to go into like, you need to learn a skill, a digital skill, so to speak. We've talked about it in one of our episodes. Now we're going to talk about how tech guys can come in and show us the way that, oh, this is what I'm currently doing and this is what I can do. I can help this number of people if they are aiming to go into the tech space. And those are the people who are going to be bringing in with time.
Yeah, so those are some things too, like we'll be looking at tech and like things that you can do without the help of anything, like sports. If you're athletic by nature, you can play football, you can, like, we need to support ourselves. We need to unite more. The youths of this country need to come together and find a way to make things work for ourselves.
Even without the government helping. So we have seen situations where so many talents die in Nigeria, so many, even in the sports space now. People are so good and then they never see the limelight. So these are the things we are trying to see how we can bridge this gap, so that our players, be it footballers, athletes, and every sport you think you are good at, you will be able to have an advantage in the market first. So these are ways we are trying to look at, and we are hoping that ideas can come in on how can sports persons, people that are really good in sports, that have interest in going into the sport, what is their chances out there, and what can they do to really come into the light? Because we know right now,
and it's not just even football itself. There's like so many types of sports. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Sports, like
very good tennis players, very good basketball players, very good volleyball players, like
handball, whatever the speed,
like these people
whatever the sports are. So
getting any recognition for their work.
That's just how it is, and we're looking at how we can say, okay, a body or something can just come into place and see how, because our youth sports in Nigeria, I think, is not really very functioning. So we have so many talents and there's not enough money in the Nigeria sports scene right now that encourages people to really go into this line of.
And these are some of my questions with money in general. Like, why does money have to limit great talents? Like, you just see this person, and there was this movie I watched, I don't know, I've forgotten the title, but this guy was like very good at basketball, but if it was not for an agent who flew from America to come and discover him, I think the guy was in like Spain or so. So like, if it was not for that agent, like, that talent would have just died off like that. And this guy, like, was very, very good. So these are the things now, like, are you as an artist, you as a painter, a drawer, a tailor, like whatever it is you are doing, like, you have ideas, you have goals, you have dreams. We're just trying to connect with you. We're trying to connect with other people. We're trying to connect you with other people who have these same dreams of making great things, of doing great things. And
another thing we need to look at there is this: there are so many talents out there, and there is no enough space for everybody to actually be in the top.
It's not just like being in the top,
what we want to
get the recognition at least that you deserve.
Let the market be there for you to show your talent, to explore in the sports sector, because Nigeria sports is not up to standard per se. That's why people cannot easily come in and then they achieve their dreams, so to speak. But now we're trying to see how we can create this playing field for everybody,
Not we shall, can't
not
create
we,
it.
like
You,
how we,
us,
you, us, like
everybody.
the general public, and actually create this level playing field for all of us, so that we can actually shine together and do this thing. I know most of us growing up were either interested in one sport or the other, but then we just know that now in Nigeria you see people playing ball, like some people that are very dedicated, and just be like, this one is just a waste of time. This one is wasting his time there doing nothing.
Why are you emphasizing?
So that's how people see these things, but that's not how it's supposed to be.
Exactly, that's not how it's supposed
What
to
I'm
be.
always trying to say now is that's why I'm always going into the corruption part of it. We're trying to see how we can work without the system, because the system is so corrupt now that even people that are not qualified to be there are there, while you that is actually qualified by normal standards is not there because the opportunity was not given to you. So those are the bridges we are trying to close in this talk.
Yeah,
so is what we're trying to analyze and see how can these bridges be closed, whereby corruption does not come in play when you are a sport enthusiast. When you are so into sports, you know that you are good at it and you want to build a career in it, or you want to build a career in it, but then the opportunity is not coming because of corruption. We've heard so many stories of people, even some of these are foreign players that are from Africa. We've heard stories of them coming to like register with our football teams, and corruption comes in play, and they're told to do this and do that, and because they are not doing it, they don't get a chance. So we want to see how these gaps can be closed, because I think Mbappe was one of the examples I was reading about. I don't know how true it was, that his father wanted him to play for Cameroon, but the Cameroon people were telling him to bring money, and you know how Africa is with all this money, and then he shut them out. No, my son will be in France, and you see how we have lose valuable talent. This corruption, why I keep hitting it, is that it's hitting so many sectors in our economy. You can see doctors leaving the country. These are brilliant minds that are going. These are talents that are going. We are killing the future of the country, because when the youths are not they don't have trust in the system, they look for it somewhere else. And when it's going, you are killing your country, because in the future you will not have this workforce. You will not have this minds that will catapult you. And that's why I'm not really happy with our politicians, because they are so old and they don't really think about the future of the youth. They don't want to think about how the country can move forward.
It's funny how you said
because I think they are not going to see the future. So they are not showing concern about the future of the world, the future of this nation, especially Nigeria. That's one of the problems.
To an extent, you can say maybe they are short-sighted.
They are short-sighted. They are corrupt, and they just want their belly. And they are children. I'm not good there, but then see, this is what we're trying to talk about: how we cannot build this gap and break these barriers that are really into our sports sectors and our youth. Because sport is one of the uniting factors of any nation,
country,
of every nation. And when the youths are united, when they are brought into this light, you'll see progress, because sport is a uniting thing. It's something that even as government, you can actually use sport as a way to unite the nation, as a way to win the minds of the younger generations. So as we'll keep going, we need these experts in this field to see how we can build a system that is not going to be
and if anything we're saying on these talks and everything, if there's any correction you want to make, if we've made any points you don't agree with, any point you found, this is unreasonable, why would they say that, just let us know. We're not shying away from your criticism, we're not shying away just our comments will always be open. We won't ever turn off our comments, and we'll try as much as possible to read through every comment and to work on it as time goes on. So like Marcus has been going on for about is like sports is an area where we need a reawakening. We need our government's help. We need to join together, and we need to make this thing a reality. Like, there are so many talents out there, and people are leaving this country to play for other countries just because there's no facilities on ground.
Now, I heard in UK has opened its border for teachers to come in. That's another. You are like. Do you know what that means?
Brain drain.
With the situation of the country now,
everybody is going.
Teachers are going. Doctors were going. They find a way to restrict this thing. Now teachers. When teachers are gone, what's the future of the country when you don't have teachers? So you see what we're trying to talk about. So let's see. We're talking this thing now to try to build a system that is not government influence, but then we are indirectly talking to the youth that they should take charge, and let's see how we can do, and then maybe go into politics and try to change this narrative generally, so that
I have no intention.
The country. I'm not saying you should go or me. I'm not a politician. I'm not. But then we're talking about minds, like great minds, like you guys out there, to just take initiative. Let's see how we can work. But most times you cannot actually work around government. If we are being truthful, you cannot work around the government of the place you are, the place you are situated. So it's just a way of saying, okay, let's see what we can do, and then in the long run or in the short term, our government can hear us, or we can go into government and see how we can change this thing.
Or we can hear ourselves and unite together and change this thing. Because I know there are some well-to-do people who have good intentions, but because of maybe improper network, when they try to do some of these things, they meet with the bad ones and they get discouraged, and they're like, no, I'm not doing it again.
So if we can build a community on our own like this, like helping each other, doing things, creating systems that work for all of us. Boom, I think the government are going to be awakened without us doing anything against them. Like, we're just there. We now have a system where, as
network of like-minded individuals,
sport person, you can excel without bribing anybody. As a businessman, you can excel without doing, those things. That's just what we don't want the youths to be there in the world map, like these Nigeria youths making waves in different sectors, making waves. So,
and truthfully, Nigeria has so many potentials. I think the World Cup came to a close yesterday, and I was just so happy when I saw Davido's performance and how far he has come and performing on a global stage. Like, that's an African talent for you there. Like, and there are so many others. I think Asake did a show recently too in London, and they said the crowd was so much, like people were trying to force their way in and stuff like that.
Africa is making waves everywhere. So these are, even with little help we are getting, we are making waves. So
then just think about what we can do
when we are collectively in that headspace to make a change for our lives and the lives of
think of all the things that we can do when everybody is united, when there's enough funds, when there's enough resources for people to try these things out, for people to do these things together. So these are the situations that we're faced with. We're met with this barrier of lack of resources, lack of empowerment, and a lot of corruption in the system. And what we're trying our best to say, okay, moving forward, we want to try and avoid this corruption. We want to do things differently. We want to change the narrative of this country. We want to say, okay, what else can the youth do? What can they put their hands into that's not illegal? And ICT, I believe, is one way that the youths can go. And we've talked about this before. So I think in one episode when we looked at skills you can learn in Nigeria. But also this is another challenge people are facing. You want to learn these skills, you need to buy your data, and data is expensive in this country because the cost of things keep going up. Data is expensive, internet is expensive, no light, and these are challenges that you face
coming into the tech space.
But if you look at like some of these guys, now the guys that did Paystack and how they did everything and it went so smoothly for them, it's just really like inspirational. And there are many people, many talents who are trying to like get to the same level. And all I'm just saying is that everybody can just maybe work together collectively instead of trying to fight against each other, trying to like compete. Competition is good, but if it's progressive, like both of us are like working together
you're competing, not trying to see that another person does not succeed.
Yeah, but just to better yourself. Yeah, you're competing against yourself to say, okay, how far can you actually push this thing? How far can you take? How best can you do what you're already doing well? So these are things that we're looking at, and truthfully, I hope these episodes like this, you get more value from them, you get something from them. And even if you don't get anything from them, please tell us something about it. If this comes across your timeline, don't just scroll through, don't just scroll like a zombie or something. Just look at it and be like, what are these guys about? What are they even trying to say? And drop something in return, like for us putting this video out, being courageous enough to like say, okay, we want to start doing this thing. Please let us know what you think.
So talking about the ICT, the tech space, there are so many things we've talked about before that you can actually learn. You can go into these things from programming to every other aspect. But we know that these are things that cost, that they are time consuming, they are financial involvement in these things. You need to get a good laptop for yourself, you need to get all these things. But these are things you can do actually, because the world is going digital, the tech is taking over. There is money that is going to be seen in the long run in tech. So
you know why I'm smiling? I was talking about them giving us feedback and you just like jump back to ICT.
Yeah, we need
immediately
to pressure that more. So this is what you guys need to go into. This is what we need to go into now and see how we can work on that space and make good use of the internet to our benefit, because the youths are mainly in the internet right now. So
yeah, that's true.
The changes. It's actually correct. Let's see the changes we can make through the internet.
And we've been talking about this for some time now, like the things you can do on the internet. There are so many things you can do, so many businesses that we've covered: ICT, tech, programming, crypto, forex, arbitrage trading, and just social engagements can also provide you funds, because the future we're heading towards now, most social media platforms will become like monetized before you know it, and you would have to pay to use Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, and stuff like that. And you as a creator now on these platforms now, you start getting a share of those revenue, those subscription fees and all that. So now is just the best time to get started creating your brands.
Creating content. Content creation is one of the business right now out there where you can make lots and lots of money with time. Build yourself. That's why we always say work on yourself and put yourself out there. Putting yourself out there is creating content for yourself, let people see you. And imagine you are going through a process now, you are documenting this process in video form, and you are creating that as a content somewhere, and then you start getting revenue from that. You see, you're building a career
before you even get to your destination.
Yeah, before your that career you're building starts being profitable, you've already started getting revenue from another space. That's what we're trying to look at. That's what we're trying to work on. That's why we always encourage everybody that document your process. There are contents you can create. We have given you guys so many types of content. Like you as a student self, you can just start documenting your process in school, and boom, that's the content there. Yeah. You as a workman, you can just start documenting the process of you trying to fix something, and boom, that's you as just cooking food. Those are things you can do.
As get on owner, managing the home.
Yeah, get on YouTube, put these things there. Get on Facebook, Instagram. Just put yourself out there. There you are publicizing yourself, and then you are making content for the internet, and in the long run, you start making money from these contents you've done. So those are many forms now where you can make money as a human being who has access to the internet. That's why one of our main objectives is getting you online. Even with whatever we are talking about, we always press on you going online. You doing that which you are doing right now, taking it online and seeing how it can be profitable for you.
Putting your content online is like a test, an acid test, to see how valuable your stuff really is.
Yeah.
And this is also what we're trying to do with our channel by making these recordings and putting them online. If we are actually creating some form of value to you, I believe there's something that would happen, and if not, something would also happen. So that's just the thing. Truthfully, these are all everything we have. This is another casual episode, and as always, we try to tax ourselves with doing this for at least 30 minutes, because we believe that once you put yourself on the spot, once you force your brain to actually think, something actually comes out of it, and you don't have to wait till you have everything figured out. You don't have to wait till you know the entire answer to everything that you plan to do. You just have to start somewhere. Start doing the little that you can. Start researching with the little that you can. And what we do on some of our videos that you've seen is we try to just cover a brief aspect of the thing. It's also left for you to dig deeper, to find out how are these people doing this thing, what is behind this thing, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's why we always encourage you to go and research about some of the business you want to go into, some of those things you want to go and learn. We advise that you go do a background and search on these things, see how it works. And that's why we are looking forward to bringing people that are already successful, or people that are already trying, they're already into these things. But I don't think you can be in a business for 2 years or 3 years without making profit, and then you still be in that business. You should have changed. So we're looking at people that have really stayed in a particular business, and we're going to be bringing them to come and talk to us.
We also be bringing
about the things we've talked about generally, the hairdressing, the tailoring, those general business. We'll bring them to talk to you about it. You have a knowledge now that we have tried to pass out, that whatever you're doing, take it online. There's more business in the internet because you have more users of the internet than the people in your street and the people in where you establish that business.
Yes.
So there is a greater audience online than offline for you in that business. So that's just the point of you taking your things online, because you meet with great larger audience. So
exactly. So truthfully, we're coming to the end of yet another episode. Like we said, this is a casual chat episode, and we're always open for criticism, always open for comments, and always open for reviews. If anything we said on this episode didn't register with you, or you want to give corrections on all that you said. We're always open to that, and we will be doing more interview style. Hopefully, we'll be talking more to more established people. And if you are one of those people and you would like to be a part of this, please drop your comments.
You can contact us also
directly, and
our email will be here. So
you
can actually contact us through email.
We're looking forward to doing great things with you and to building and shaping the future of Nigeria.
All right.
So
that brings us to the end of yet another day. We hope you guys are safe out there. You guys are pushing it through.
All right. Thank you.
Till next time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Peace out.
Yeah.